Welcome to another episode of HVAC and a Beer with Jake. In this case, whiskey. Basil Hayden. Good stuff. Don't know if you can see that. Got some ammunition. Not actual ammunition, but regardless, that was a gift. Frozen bullets, I guess. So, a friend of mine had a AC unit, wouldn't run. Nobody could figure it out. Turns out, this particular unit was it was probably a 2-ton, maybe 2-ton unit, yeah, something in there. Took a look at it. The refrigerant charge was kind of a culprit. Didn't really know. Pressure would go really high when it would run. The head pressure was easily 500 pounds. If this was 410A, it'd be okay. Unfortunately, it was R22. Definitely not okay. Could not figure out what was going on. This was a good one. Turns out factory charge was 1.2 pounds. Little tiny thing, I don't know. It could have been a ton and a half. I have no idea. Factory charge was 1.2 pounds. The unit was converted to 407C, so I guess not technically R22, but that's what we thought when we initially saw it. So we take some measurements, all the regular stuff, try and diagnose what's going on. Runs good sometimes, not other times. Well, as it got warm out, the high pressure side just could not maintain. So we take some refrigerant out, trying to figure out what is going on. Well, it had about 2.5 pounds in it versus the 1.2, 1.3 it was supposed to have. 1.3 versus 2, you're talking almost double charge when you get up to the 2.5 range. I don't know about you, but I've never seen anything run at 2.5 times the charge. Actually, I did see one piece of equipment run like that. Whole different animal. It was a chiller. Holds 400 pounds of refrigerant, R123, believe it or not. Actually, no, this was not 123. This was 113. So held 400 pounds of 113. Turns out the float valve was bad. It had 800 pounds of R113 in it. Not a big deal. It was running. I don't know how. It was moving liquid through the impeller, but whatever. Anyway, long story short, double charge does not always work like it's supposed to. So we get some refrigerant out of this thing, and all of a sudden it starts acting a little more normal, running like, 320, 330 head pressure versus the 500 it was. Take a little more out. All of a sudden, subcooling goes from 50, I don't know what it was, 50 subcooling? That's a lot. Superheat was always fine because we put an expansion valve on it. About 50 degrees. We get that down to about 18. Magically, it started working. So, long story short, if anybody says it'll run with a double charge, it will not. So we were able to get that down, got it running. We have had nothing but compliments on it at this point. It does not have trouble any longer. The first go around, we assumed there was maybe some air in there. The orifice wasn't working. That's how the expansion valve got put in there. We just pumped it down, threw a valve in, said, hey, maybe this is not compatible. Some of the newer refrigerants, a little bit less compatible with orifices. Not that we wanted to believe that was the problem, but you have to eliminate a piece at a time, right? So we took the inexpensive route. Let's do this, let's do that. We found a pipe that was too small. This is a funny one. 3/8 line is what it was supposed to be for the liquid. It was a quarter. Now you're saying, well, a quarter should be fine. Maybe it works. It does work. Except when the guy who brazed it in filled it half full with brazing rod. So now we have, rather than a 1/4 inch line, we have about an 1/8 inch orifice at the condenser. The strange thing about this one was after we put the expansion valve in, it was freezing from the condenser forward. It was not doing that with the orifice. Which, surprisingly enough to me, must have allowed just enough flow and restriction that it was not causing that. The expansion valve, of course, was doing what it was supposed to, allowing refrigerant, trying to make superheat. New restriction ended up being further back. So yeah, this one took us a little while to figure out. We did get it. In the end, it's running great. Welcome to HVAC and a beer with Jake. And in this case, sometimes whiskey. I use this jelly jar. I like jelly jars. I don't know. It's probably not the best glass out there, but I don't know, they're fun. This is Basil Hayden, actually. It was a gift from a friend. Yeah, it's half full. It will not be in a little while. Maybe a little much for these cooling bullets, but very good, very flavorful. Anyway, cheers. Welcome to HVAC and a beer with Jake. Thank you.